This is a video to show the sort of the difficulty of trying to do calligraphic writing using Adobe Illustrator. And I have a Wacom Cintiq and a pen and a computer, but it still requires a lot of work. Now, one of the things that you'll notice if I press down and go apply pressure, the line gets thicker, just like a real pen, which is what you want it to do, to imitate actual calligraphic pen work. One of the things, though, that is sort of hard to control is the surface of this paper, of this screen, and the pen that you use is very slick. So it's actually harder to sort of drive the pen to make the letters you want the way you want them, because it's so slippery. So almost all the time I try to make a letter, something is wrong. So then I have to go into the letter, and you see these little points. That's what you have to tweak and move. And you move this one here, and the whole line moves, as you see. And then you make a mistake, like that. If you don't hit the line, that little point with your cursor, then there's a lot of undoing that has to be done, which is just tooth-grindingly awkward. So then when you continue making your word, I'll make W-O-R-D. Normally if I'm with a pen, I'll do O-R-D all in one stroke. And it'll be thick and thin at the right points. But with this program, for some reason, it's quite, I'll just say impossible, because I think that's what it is, impossible to imitate that the right way. Even some fountain pens don't do it. So what you then have to do, let's say I wanted to make that an O, a lowercase o. This area right down at the bottom is too thick, so we'll make it again. Lifting up earlier if we can. That's slightly better, but again, what then has to be done is this letter that you made almost correctly, you then have to expand appearance, and then you have to move all these little lines again, except the line doesn't move, it's the shape of the letter that moves instead. So you get one O that is almost exactly how you want it. Now, if I had a pen, it may take me a couple of times to get that perfect O, but it's just using this particular program that printers these days need requires more than just making a letter. Even if you have the Wacom tablet and you have your brush selected the right way, etc. So what's nice about this program is when you do make beautiful curves, Why is it so fat? When you do make beautiful curves, you are able to, in some cases, move them somewhat gracefully. You are able to sort of do that up to a point. You can be quite and then you screw up like I just did. So anyway, there's reasons for this to be done, and it works well sometimes, but other times it's just quite painful. There are ways for me to make it slightly less painful by actually drawing on a piece of paper, tracing paper that I put over the screen, which creates a little bit of a resistance. It actually is much easier to make the letters, but it's still the thick and thinness issue that is not really something that can be replicated in vector. So there's lots of minutes, sometimes hours, spent in creating just one word. One word. Sometimes it takes an hour. There are other programs I use. There's one on the iPad that I use that works a little bit better. But when I transfer that to this program, it isn't editable. You have to, it's not compatible in the way. So, again, sometimes trying to make something look like a drawing or a calligraphed word using this device isn't very good yet. Maybe it will be one day.